we're on time. So the next speaker is Camille Bielak from Warsaw University of Life Science.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm not used to presenting while sitting. I try my best. Hello, everybody. I'm Kamil. I'm silviculturist from Warsaw University, and today I will try to show you the result about the temporal stability of structural diversity in a natural forest, based on our long-term plots that date back to the beginning of 20th century. To this end, I would like to take you for the trip to Białowieża forest. It's 2.5 thousand kilometers far away to northeast Europe. The Białowieża forest is located on the border between Poland and Belarus. The total area it's 150,000 hectares, and 40%, around 40% belongs to Poland. And the core area of this large forest, never disturbed directly by human, is a strict reserve that was established at the beginning of 20th century. This area is considered as a treasure of natural conservation community for a high naturalist degrees and a large area and a long protection status. In 1936, our Polish FAPAch, Professor Wojcicki, established 5 transects, we call as a transects, long plots with the width like 40-60 meters, but very long, the longest almost 1.4 kilometers. The plots go across the main woodland communities to represent the different gradient of soil richness from oligotrophic to eutrophic, and the water ground supply from very dry to wet, and one with the that grows on a peatland. The total area is around 15 hectares, and we so far measured 8 times. The last time I measured those plots September 2023. They, as I mentioned, cover the gradient of the soil richness and wet. I'm not going to go too deeply on this classification because I do not have the time. That's why I will tell more about the general trends. We use the field map technology. We measure the standard dendrological parameters like DBH, heights, spatial coordinates, ingrowths, outgrowths. We use a field map technology, as I mentioned. It's a hard work, but we are always able to find some nice time for the break to take a rest. Then it's a more difficult work to sum up the results and to answer the question about the temporal trends. We first calculate different structural diversity indices. They cover 4 fundamental aspects for each calendar year. We addressed the standing growing density by means of tree density and basal area, the productivity, the growth by basal area and mortality by basal area, carbon content, and then the species diversity by means of standard Shannon and evenness indices, and structural size diversity by also Shannon and evenness. We also calculate for the tree species composition similarity index on the your left side equation. It tells from 0 to 1. 1 it means no changes, 0 it means that the stand looks completely different in a tree species composition. Now the results first about the species level. I just want to trace the results firstly by graphs. You have a transect from the soil richness from oligotrophic to the eutrophic from top to down, and I use I selected dry and wet sites, And what you can observe here, the main two processes are that the blue color, spruce, is replaced by yellow color, it's hornbeam. And the most visible changes are visible on oligotrophic and dry sites, and on eutrophic and wet sites they are quite stable. Now some numbers. We have 3 groups of species. We have 12 species in Białowieża forest. The winners are the hornbeam and lime. Losers, all light demanding, almost 3 species. And let's say with the stable status is alder and elm. However, recently we observe a huge decay of elm in Białowieża forest. And regarding the testing the similarity, you can see this is the similarity index. So in many cases almost 85% are different than at the beginning of our observation at the beginning of 20th century, if we compare with the recent census. And the most stable, it means the less changes were noticed on the eutrophic and wet sites. Now I move to the stand level, to the community level. First, I would like to tell about stocking density. So we observe the minus tendency in case of the density. However, the basal area and the carbon content, it's quite stable. No trend. And how we can explain this? Simply, it's for the basal area, it's an offset of the increment and the outgrow. So they are always plus, so it means they simply interact, and in principle they give the 0 results. And with the carbon, the main reason is that we have the winner hornbeam, and it means very dense wood and with the rich carbon content. Then we go to the species diversity. You see that we have only the plus trend in the Shannon diversity measured by basal area. In case of the tree number, no trend, and with the Berger-Parker dominance, also no trend. Simply at the beginning, the domain tree species was spruce, and now it was replaced for hornbeam, and in a long term, it means no clear results. And now we go to the size diversity. So no trend for the Shannon. However, we see that the distribution between the different diameter class change. Now we have more small trees as a regeneration of hornbeam. And now what we learn from this, what we can use for the close to nature, sustainable multifunctional forest management. It's very important. Here I contrasted you on the left and right side, the monoculture from nature and for the intensive lignin culture. And what we can do to be more close to nature in the managed forest, we can simply use the different traits. And you have on the left side our triplet with pine, oak and understory hornbeam. So we can use this vertical structure or very valuable oak stands with the understory, tending understory of hornbeam. And we can, of course, what we should do in the close to nature forest management, use more previous generation. It means to leave some large trees you have on the left from Białowieża forest, and on the right side the pictures that I took last week in the beech forest with the regnance of the large trees of the previous generation. And this is very important because then we have the more diverse vertical structure. And regarding the deadwood, of course, we don't need like 350 cubic meters per hectare like in Białowieża forest of the deadwood, but we need also in the managed forest some amount of deadwood because it's a source of a new life as a seed bed. You see on the left just spruce that germinate, and then the elder one with the decay stump. And we need also snack and habitat trees in a managed forest, so it's very important to have such a related habitat trees. It means not to, in a close to nature, it means not 100% cutting of such trees that they are not maybe very valuable for the productive reason, but they are very productive as a niche for different fauna and flora. And finally, conclusion, very dynamic forest. Natural forest in Białowieża is very dynamic, more at the species level, more stable at the stand level, at the community level. And the most stable community was eutrophic and wet because of the resources there. And we can say that in many ways the natural forest should be the model, but we should not follow blindly. We sometimes should be one step before to take care about the tree species demography and not to have the hornbeam, for instance, monoculture. Although we need both categories, we need to have to promote diversity, also the strictly protected area, and also this multifunctional close to nature forest management area. Thank you very much for your attention. Muchas gracias.